to Easter Saturday Live on GB News on this Holy Saturday on the bank holiday weekend. Hope you're well and you've had a good weekend so far. Let me know what you're up to today and indeed tomorrow. gbnews.com/your say. Right, we move on. So Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister, his government is reportedly looking to deport failed asylum seekers to countries in the Balkans. This week saw a record number of small boat crossings in the Channel, a 43% increase compared to the same period last year. So much for smash the gangs. And to counter this, the Prime Minister plans to set up UN-endorsed return hubs where failed asylum seekers could be relocated. Well, let's see what my panel make of this. Broadcaster Lizzie Cundy and the journalist Benjamin Butterworth. Good afternoon to you two.
Good to see you.
Welcome back. Happy Easter again.
Happy Easter. On
this Holy Saturday. Benjamin, what do you make of this? They'd be failed asylum seekers would be sent to detention centres in the Balkans. Good idea?
I think it probably is a good idea. And also, there is a real brain drain from the Balkans. Countries like Albania, Kosovo, North Macedonia are really struggling with lots of people leaving and going mainly up to Germany, but some to Britain. And so they're countries that need people. So I think there's a logic to that. And if you remember, previously, the number one foreign nationality coming in small boats across the Channel was Albanians. And we got an agreement with Albania, and now there are very few Albanians in the Channel. We've swapped them for Vietnamese instead.
And by the way, that's who Labour are shipping off. All the nail bar workers, when they boast about record returns, that's who they're shipping off. The poor little Vietnamese nail bar workers who don't, cause trouble to anyone.
I know. My nails are so cheap to get done now, so thanks to the Channel workers. And so I think there probably is a logic to it. But one of the questions here is how it would work. Why would they agree? And so Labour is suggesting that they are paid a sum of money to take these people. Now, will that be politically viable? Will the idea of paying, £3,000 or something to send someone off, as well as all the other costs, be considered good use of taxpayers' money? I suppose it's a lot less than 12 months in a 4-star hotel.
Lizzie, I don't quite get this story, though, because if they're failed asylum seekers, why can't we just send them back to where they came from?
Well, exactly, which I've always said, we need to leave the ECHR. But how is this different to Rwanda? It was already set in place. It seems extraordinary. So really, it's Starmer's ego which cancelled Rwanda, and now he's doing the same here. It just doesn't make sense. And for him saying, smashing the gangs, he couldn't smash the top off his Easter Cadbury's egg this Easter.
Oh, but you've been saving that one up for a while.
No, but it is true. And look about this. Where is, as usual, with Keir Starmer, where's the detail? Where's the strategy? Where's the targets? He needs to stop acting like an out-of-work barrister and give us some detail.
Well, in a rare defence for the Prime Minister, the UN High Commissioner for Refugees, the UNHCR, has endorsed the Prime Minister's plans. They say, yep, good on you, Keir.
So, right, we ploughed millions into Rwanda. How is this really making sense? Why didn't he continue with Rwanda? It was a deterrent. Look at the amount of boats that have come over. 705 crossed the Channel in one day. Yeah. 2,000 this week. It's 43% up than it was this time last year. It's pathetic.
Yeah, Benjamin, why did he scrap Rwanda?
I mean, Rwanda clearly wasn't going to work. That was illustrated by the fact they spent years on it. And the difference is
it's not working now, is it?
That took
40% up.
That didn't take failed asylum seekers. That immediately took people there. And so the legality and the ethics of that was different. Well, it wasn't a deterrent because people kept coming. The only thing that's changed the numbers has been the weather. I dare say Yvette Cooper, the Home Secretary, is praying for some storms because that's what stops people coming in the Channel.
You're saying we've had a 40-odd% increase because the weather's just been better?
43%.
Well, we know that days when the weather is good, which has been quite a lot recently, the numbers surge. And also, they've been filling the boats with more people, so it's more dangerous.
I mean, did we not get nice weather last year and the year before?
Well, the year before, the numbers were about the same as they are now.
They're 43% up.
2022, the numbers were about the same as they are this year.
Benjamin, a record number, 702 in one day.
But
How
yeah, it's
frightening
unacceptable.
Is that?
Of course it's unacceptable.
Keir Starmer's plans are blatantly not working.
But I mean, hang on, what is this silver bullet? This is the thing. I think politicians are being deeply disingenuous. This change in migration flows, the ease of which people can move to a country in these fashions, it's never been easier. It's never been more organised by organised crime. And there isn't some silver bullet that will just stop it.
Well, this whole smash the gang things is akin to drug dealers. You take out one drug gang, another one pops up. Yeah. You're never ever going to
demand.
Stop. It's so lucrative.
Yeah, exactly.
And by the way, where are migrants? Nobody's been able to answer this question for me. Where are asylum seekers who are meant to be poor? They're poverty-stricken. They're fleeing war and whatever else. Where are they getting 5, 6, 7 grand a time to pay people smugglers? What's going on there?
Just to say the
It's
truth.
a racket, and it's costing us, the taxpayer, 8.5 million a day. We can't keep going on like this. And Keir Starmer is out of his depth. He's another fairy tale proposal where we're never going to see any results.
No, the truth is that actually many of those people don't have £5,000, and so the real profit from the smugglers is that they effectively live in slavery once in Britain, working off that debt and far more. And that's why I think, and the Tony Blair Institute put a paper forward this week, ID cards are an answer, because this black economy is the real pull factor, because they can make money and live here illegally without paying taxes, without being in the normal work system, and that is prevented by
How
ID
convenient
cards.
that Tony Blair was banging on about ID cards years before the small boats crisis and the migrant crisis. Nobody wanted it. Then we have a migration crisis, and the solution is, it's ID
Well,
cards.
hang on. No, just to correct
Tony
you.
Blair. I don't know why you're even mentioning him.
Just to correct you, there was much the same problem back in Blair's days, but they were lorries rather than boats, and it was the answer to the lorries problem, which, by the way, that Labour government fixed the lorries problem. That's why we don't have it today.
Lizzie, on this Easter weekend, on Holy Saturday, what would Jesus do with regards to the small boats crisis?
Jesus would do the right thing and
Which is?
take those that are coming illegal, he would send them back to where they came from, because that was the right thing to do. And it's hurting the good people here of this country.
I think Jesus would shepherd these people in, these vulnerable people, and help them and give them fish and water and wine and everything and look after them, because that's the Christian way to behave.
How many of you shepherded into your home, Benjamin?
Yeah,
your posh
exactly.
central London townhouse?
Exactly.
I've barely got a space for myself. But,
see, that's always the way. You know, when you're asked, would you take one in, you wouldn't.
Well, unlike you, Lizzie, I don't own a large home with space, so maybe you could put some up.
Oh, really? Well, look...
Lizzie doesn't go around
I don't go
promoting
around, no, and
migration.
look, on a serious note, I think Jesus would really tell Keir Starmer off for so many lies, because he hasn't smashed the gangs, and for him to use that strapline and keep saying it, he'd be in a lot of trouble.
OK, we'll end on that note. Let us know what you think. gbnews.com/your say. This is Easter Saturday live on GB News on this very holy Saturday.